Okay, so we're gonna see how well this works today because I forgot my mic that I usually wear up on my chest. So all the audio that I'm doing this morning is from the Nikon Z6 III. Yeah. So we're gonna show some video. We're gonna take a little walk here in the nature sanctuary down by the river because it's nice and level because I'm still in the boot. Yeah. I know there's some lichen down here and some dead trees and stuff, some other textures and stuff. I was hoping for a little bit more bounce this morning off of the sky, more reflected light, but I think this should work. So here's the first composition. I may see if I can get down the bank a little farther and get a better one. I'm at 120 mil on the lens on the Nikon 24 to 120 f4s lens. What I like about it is the way the reflection is occurring there. I do actually like the framing elements of the blurred out tree over here on the right and the tree branch here on the left. Now I know focus stacking is a thing. Don't have my tripod with me, but you know what? Sometimes I like that blur. Not everything has to be sharp in a photograph. In fact, one of the most common ways that I like to de-emphasize things that I don't like in a shot, like how dark this is, for one, or the fact that I love the subject of the tree over there reflecting into the creek. I want to de-emphasize a lot of things, and an easy way to do that in the field is to blur the foreground.
So, I like a lot of things about this composition. What I don't like is that stump that is drawing my attention away. We can clear that up in post. Yes, we can. So I do like the blurred tree trunk in the foreground. I may wander down there with a tripod one of these days and try focus stack. So what I did in post-processing here is I darkened down the corners a little bit more. I also darkened down that stump considerably. I wanted your attention to be fully drawn to the reflection in the stream. Tell me what you think. Let's get a discussion going on this one. I kind of like the final product. I may try focus stacked in the future.
And next subject is this tree stump with all this lichen. Well, it's not really lichen, it's an elkhorn, I think is what they call it. And there's so many different compositions of this, it's just crazy. And then we have some just straight up mushrooms down here, which is kind of cool. So this may be composition number 2 if I can find an angle on it without having to bend too much, because I still got that bum leg. I'm really liking this though, and I'm thinking I'm liking that better, so I'm going to take that right now.
So how many compositions of this fungus do you think I took? Yeah, I'm only going to show 3 of them. This is the first one. This is not my favorite composition, but it is one that caught my eye, and I started working this dead, decaying stump. It's gorgeous what you can find in a macro or micro field of view when you're looking at it. It's been a while since Shelly and I have been to those grand vistas, so I'm finding myself more drawn to these smaller, more intimate scenes. Like I said, this is not my favorite one, but what do you think about it? So this one does happen to be my favorite composition. I like that slightly off-kilter look to it, and the fact that you can see the rim of the trunk and the rot in the middle of that old trunk. I love the angle. I do feel that it was a little bit overexposed in the field, but that's easy enough to correct in post-processing. I like what I did here. I dodged, I burned, I darkened, and yet the shadows still have soul to them. So yes, this is that composition that I wasn't quite sure if I was going to get in the field. Luckily, and one of the things that I love the most about the Nikon Z6 III is that fully articulating screen allowed me not to have to bend down or try to kneel to get this shot. It's at ground level. I love the bokeh on this lens. I know I've done that in another video to death, but this shot is just awesome. I might try to find it again and shoot it with a macro filter. How would you handle this in the field? I mean, does your equipment allow you, or does it inhibit you from making the photographs that you want?
Okay, so I know there's a lot of clutter, a lot of chaos going on here, but I love the way these daisies look, these wild daisies, these wild cone flowers are looking this morning. And I think if I wait here just a little bit longer, that ray of sun that's hitting that back area will hit this area and light some of those flowers up just a little bit more. So I'm just gonna hang out for a little bit. I've already shot one and see if I can get that sun coming in, hitting one of them that's taller, and putting everything else out of focus.
I'm not happy with this shot. The composition's lacking. There's a lot of clutter, a lot of distraction that's pulling you away. What is the defined subject? Even with the perfect light, that light would have had to have hit just a few subjects to make this photograph better. I did a little dodging, a little burning in post. It cleans it up a little bit, but it feels too cluttered. Let's discuss it. Would you just pass this photo by? Would you junk bin it? Would you delete it? Would you get rid of it? How would you handle this? So, this composition's a little cleaner. The bokeh of the lens actually gets rid of some of that foreground distraction. It gets rid of a lot of the background distraction. It's not the perfect light. It's close, but it's not perfect. We can do a lot in post to clean this up, to make the subject pop a little bit more. There's a little bit of dodging, a little bit of burning. I've taken down the foreground a little bit, and I've also decreased the background a little bit. So you know what the subject is. It's the coneflowers. It's the wild daisies, as I called them in the field. Maybe with the perfect light, I would enjoy this photo a lot more. What do you guys think?
Okay, so this is kind of cool. We got some vines. It looks like a morning glory right next to that tree trunk there.
Yes, it is a morning glory, Craig. You got that one right. A+. What I don't like is I overexposed the image in the field. I'm not sure what I had the light meter on the camera set at, but it wasn't where I'm used to having it on my D600. The Nikon Z6 III has really great dynamic range, as you can see. I was able to pull that exposure back to where it needs to be for the flower, and there's still detail. So even though it looked blown out, it wasn't. I love the square crop on this.
Okay, well, that's going to wrap it up for this morning. This scene back here never materialized. The sun's at the wrong angle. Plus, we've got way too many tall trees back here shading it. I did find another scene a little bit farther down the path that did work. That was quite amusing. And found a couple more compositions back here. Been a good morning with the Nikon Z6 III and the 24-120 f4S lens. And if you haven't yet done so, please hit that subscribe button, ding the bell for future notifications and all that jazz. And if you like this video and this style of video, give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below on any of the compositions that I showed you this morning. Let's have a discussion. I love having discussions about photography in general. If you want to see my one camera, one lens challenge video, very similar to this, but a little bit longer, I'll put that up there. And I'll put the next one with the Z6 III down here. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.